Hey everybody, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona, where we have a brick and mortar store. Thank you for hitting like, sharing, subscribing, and do all the algorithm things that helps the algorithm know how to algorithm. All right, I'm glad you could be here today. And today I want to talk to you about why I like platinum. This is one of those things that comes up from time to time in the store as I talk to people about bullion, about gold and silver. And we get into the topic and they say, what do you like? And I say, well, I kind of like platinum. And they're like, oh, like, almost like, oh, you're one of those. So let's talk a little bit about why I like platinum and talk a little bit about the other things that I just don't care about, because that's a part of, who I am. I just roll with the things that I enjoy. I like platinum. Historically, platinum was higher than gold most of the first half of my working career here at the coin shop. If you got out your credit card while you were cutting it up because you realized it was a bad idea, you could look and see that you had achieved the highest level of credit carddom, which is the platinum card. So platinum was kind of like the king's metal for a while. I realized that there's a lot of industrial uses for a while, and that's one of the things that people talk about with platinum in general, is they say, well, there's no longer an industrial use for platinum. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not collecting platinum because of some type of Reddit thread that I read it on my phone, right? I'm not doing it because of some type of charts. I'm not doing it because I'm worried about bank confiscation. I like platinum simply as a metal for diversification. So if you're already buying gold and silver and you want something that's different, there is platinum. There is at least a third option outside of buying copper and you're just building up copper walls around you. Another aspect of platinum, maybe it's more of an aspect of me, is that I see it as a value. Of course, if you want to go ahead and look at the gold chart and the silver chart, they look like this over the last year, right? We're filming this, gold went like, whee, and silver went like, okay, we're going up, and platinum went like this, right? And so a lot of people ignore this because it's down here. And this is me not caring, right? Like, to me, there's a value in things that haven't changed value. I like the fact that when I look at platinum, I see something that I feel like there's value there, right? I feel like everything else is so expensive. I've got to go and spend $300 to buy 1/10 of an ounce of gold, and I got a couple little pieces of platinum to show off, but not just really show off, but I can buy 3 ounces, 3/10, 3 times as much platinum as I can gold. Like, to me, that just seems like a value pick. And at the same time, if I go to my local coin store and I look and I say, okay, right now I can buy 3 ounces of silver or 1/10 of an ounce of platinum. It's like 3's the magic number, guys, right? There's a whole lot of 3's going on here. So to me, there's just a value pick in the fact that, you can get 1/10 of an ounce of platinum for $100. Now, a lot of people, let's be honest about how we handle our money, don't know what we spent when we go to a store and we spend $100. And whether that's Sportsman's Warehouse or Hobby Lobby, whatever you're into, you know what I'm talking about, where you look up later, you're like, go over your bank statements or credit card statements 2-3 months later, you're like, I have no idea. And that was $300. What did I buy? Right? And so for me, there is the personal finance aspect of it, which is to say, hey, you're already buying a lot of stuff. So I'm not here to say, oh, take all of your investments and sell them to put in platinum. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who really already decided, hey, the majority of what I buy becomes worthless. I don't even know what I'm buying. But you know what I can probably afford? I can probably afford $100 once in a while. I may not know it because I got to say it out loud, but I already spend that money, at these different places. Look over your bank statements. You'll see what I'm talking about, right? But if you're already buying platinum, already buying gold or silver at some level, and you're using your regular finances to purchase metals as just a part of, like, to buy things that have value, consider platinum, right? Look, could platinum flatline forever? Yeah, could. Could it go down? Yeah. Am I going to be sad if it does? Not really. Why? Because the majority of things that I put my money into become worthless. It's the same reason why I like metals, is the same reason why I like collector coins, which is like, when I buy this, I know I'm buying something that is going to have value in the future. I'm maintaining some type of value. I don't have to make money. I'm not worried about metrics. I'm not worried about making money on stuff, right? I just like to have things that in the long run will have some value. I can tell you now, as a somewhat young man, that when I am a somewhat old man, I will be happy that I have platinum, that I have bought platinum. I will not be disappointed. Even if it's not worth as much as I wanted it to be, I will not be disappointed. Another thing that I like about platinum is that it's contrarian, right? There's this guy named Buffett out there. You know, he's, I don't know, is that the guy who's like the musician? No. It's the guy who's like in Oklahoma, right? One of the world's first billionaires. Guys came from humble background. And one of his main investment philosophies is simply to be contrarian, right? And so it's easy for me to be contrarian. I just am kind of wired sometimes that way. But I look at this and it's like everyone's going after gold and silver. And I'm like, well, platinum's this way. I'm just going to go the opposite direction. And it's remarkably hard for people to be contrarian. Remarkably hard. I think this is why Warren Buffett's so successful. You know, he just says you sell when people are buying and you buy when people are selling. But I've seen this in the collector market for coins as well. When people are like, okay, if I wanted to invest in coins, what would I buy? And I start talking about, well, you know, Q, V, C, and they wanted me to talk about A, B, and C. You know, there's a little overlap there in that example. Let's just say I start talking about X, Y, and Z, right? All this little stuff at the end of the market. And they'll listen politely, and then they'll say, okay, but what if I wanted to invest in A, B, and C? Well, you didn't ask that. You said, what's a good, and I will bring things up that are contrarian, and they will always come back to like the mainstays. Okay, but what if I want to do just this stuff, right? So when you look at people who are like selling gold and silver, and they do it in the YouTube fashion, and I'm not complaining about it, but you know, there's a whole lot of prognostication and about this is going to happen and this is going to happen, you know, but we don't have crystal balls here. So we're just going to go ahead with our gut and look at something that I know is contrarian. I simply know, hey, look, none of these guys are really talking about buying platinum or owning platinum. And, you know, the last thing is like, for me also, I consider it to be a value pick because it's a scarcity thing, right? And this is the collector in me, but platinum in general is scarce. When you go to your local coin shop or coin show, I mean, go to a coin show even where you've got dozens of dealers and many of them are dealing in bullion, and just see how much platinum you can find versus how much gold or silver you see. And so this is tying it back into the collector aspect of being contrarian, right? When I see something in a coin that I haven't seen before, and I'm like, oh, that's only $100, and like, I've never seen one of these, right? Like, I find that to be a value just based on my own understanding of scarcity. And so to me, there's an understanding of scarcity. They're just based on the marketplace of, hey, platinum's really not that available. And it's currently 1/3 the price of gold. You know, it's affordable in 10th ounce pieces. Like, if, you know, okay, I'm starting to see as there's all this inflation rising up and platinum's going down or staying the same, I see that as a value pick. Anyway, I like platinum. What are you going to do? Sue me, right? I mean, that's a thing. So, once again, I'm not here to tell you to wipe out your life savings and buy platinum. I'm just telling you why I like platinum. You guys can go ahead and shoot some comments down below about whether you like platinum or not. If you hate it, if you only care about the bottom line, about making money over time, and you can tell the future, that's great. That's great. But as for me and my household, you know, I just do what I like. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for being here. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.